Fuck! Oh, you're joking. Oh, fuck's sake. I've just recorded this whole intro and I didn't even press record. I've just gone to click the record button to end the recording and now it's fucking started. Kill me. That was a good intro as well. Fuck's sake. Anyway, hold on. I was just listening to this track earlier. I'm going to play this. Oh, right on the drop. Just melts your face. Stop that. I do miss raving, I'm not gonna lie. If you've never been to a rave before, highly recommend going. There's not many feelings like being off your face in a big crowd of sweaty people, just doing this to some filthy bass line. That's a banger. That's a Bada Done by Chasing Status, and that's how you pronounce it, yes. So today's video, I'm gonna have to fucking repeat myself now. We're doing a weekly shop. So usually I'll go to the Lidl once or twice a week. One will be a bit of a smaller top-up shop, the other one will be a big boy. And the big boy is what we're doing today. So previous calories I was on were 4,000 flat across training days and non-training days because I'm tracking macros, and as I've explained in other videos, I can't be bothered to keep changing my calorie target on my FitnessPal, so I just kept it the same. But Kieran has changed my calories slightly, and I thought he would do this where calories are higher on training days and then lower on rest days, and he's actually brought my training calories down to 3,800, protein 225, carbs 590 and fat 60. And then with non-training days they're lower than that, and they are 3385, protein the same at 225, carbs 340 and fats 125. Yes, 125 grams of fats, which is more than I've ever had. But the reason why you drop calories on non-training days is because you're not training. You don't need as many calories, mainly from carbohydrates. At the end of the day, carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy. So if you're not training, you don't need that many carbs, and it makes sense then to push fats up, mainly from unsaturated healthy sources on those non-training days. So yeah, don't mind having a bit of extra fat. So I'll take you along with me to Lidl. Lidl's just literally around the corner from me, so it's ideal, nice and cheap. But in terms of food quality, it's not quite there with like Tesco's and Sainsbury's, and the variety is not quite there either. But they do have a banging bakery. Not that I ever fucking buy anything from there. So yeah, I'll take you along for the ride. We'll see what kind of stuff I buy. Any questions at all, drop them in the comments, and I'll catch you in a bit. And that's it. So this is the full shop. The grand total is £50 and 12 pence with a £1.60 discount. Because I got a coupon that gave me the cranberries and raisins off. Not bad. Right, let's go through this bitch. So washing up liquid, obviously toothpaste, not gonna go through that. Granola, this is a great carb source and fat source, to be fair. Went for the no added sugar one. Bananas, I've already got some bananas, so just stocking up on those. Pink Lady apples, I try to rotate my fruits around just to get some different micronutrients. This will go in the freezer, and I'll just kind of use it as like an emergency carb source, I guess. Reduced, all of that for 94p, not bad. And you obviously got some nice fat sauce in there from the seeds on the bread. Eggs, cheap ones, garlic granules to go with nearly everything. I have this especially on my omelette in the morning. Protein puddies is like a little treat. Dark chocolate, another great fat sauce. It's got to be 85% or above though. Bagels, carbs obviously. Avocados, another great fat sauce. Raisins and cranberries. Now these have shit ton of carbs in and very low volume, so if you're struggling to get carbs in, this is a great option. Obviously the goat protein sauce. This whole bag of jasmine rice cost me $5.99 for that whole bag. Usually I'll buy that little bag there and that's £2.50. So basically double the price for a lot more fucking rice. Now that's an absolute steal. They don't usually sell this in Lidl, so I saw that and I was like, yes, you're all going straight in my basket. Some women's deodorant. Let me explain. So in the sunbed shop they've got men's and women's deodorant. Now one day I tried the women's deodorant and I was like, this smells better than the men's. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to buy female deodorant and see how we go. And I've just sprayed this one and this just smells way too feminine. But it's a very nice smell, I'm not going to lie, I just think it's... No, it's too feminine for me. The one in the sunbed shop is nice though, I would buy that, so I need to find that one. Anyway, back to the shop. Some low calorie ice cream, the mint flavour. This isn't great ice cream to be fair, but they've either got this or coffee, and this is probably the better one. And it's like a nice little treat. And then some frozen raspberries. And that is it. But I'll just show you some other bits in my fridge that I have bought already. So chicken sausages, also a staple, lean beef mince, egg whites at the back, some sauces, yogurt, I use this on a lot of meals. Baked beans, some nectarines, and then we've got some potatoes in there, cucumber, tomatoes, jam, raisin bagels, jalapenos, spinach, and then in the freezer, I think I've got some wraps, fruit, Pop-Tarts and stuff, salmon, frozen chicken as emergency, and then some ice and lollipops. That's it. Just tucking into a lovely meal. Oats, dark chocolate, whey protein, one banana, raspberries, and that's it. Staple meal for me at the moment. And I make my oats. That's the best consistency. If you disagree, click off now. Don't have time for people like you. I prefer my oats cold as well, but I've not had time to pre-make this and then put it in the fridge because I didn't do it earlier. So I'm having them warm instead. So I'm going to tuck in, watch a bit of YouTube, and then wrap up the video. So a bit of a short video today. Hopefully that gave you some insight on what types of foods that you can buy during your bulk or cut. A lot of those foods you can have during a cut, probably maybe not all of them, but definitely a large chunk. It's just about quantity, you know? So that's the only thing that really changes during a diet. The amount you eat, the amount you move, not the types of food as such. So like I said, at the moment I'm macro tracking, and during a bulk, because I've got more time on my hands now as well, I prefer this sort of approach. I found in the past with a meal plan, because it's so rigid and fixed, like you end up having to go to the shops like 4 or 5 days a week, because sometimes you'll buy stuff, you'll forget something, and then you have to just go to the shop to buy that one fucking thing. Whereas you have a lot more flexibility with macro tracking, and you know, if you forget something or you run out of something, you can just replace it with something else. So that's why I buy multiple sources of each thing. Carbs, you know, we've got bread, rice, pasta, bagels, fruit, dried fruit, you know. Protein sources, we've got chicken, beef, tuna, fish, salmon, whey protein. Fat sources, when it comes to fats, you want to make sure that the majority of your fats are coming from unsaturated sources. These are the healthy, good fats. Things like nuts, nut butter, salmon, avocados, some oils like olive oil. These are going to be good, healthy fats that you want the majority of your fats coming from. And then you've got saturated sources, things like red meats, yogurt, cheese, milk. Now these fats you want to have in moderation. And then finally you've got trans fats, and these are the fats that you want to try to keep to a minimum if possible. And they're going to be found in like McDonald's, cookies, crisps, sweets, shitty food basically. So unsaturated, good fats, saturated, okay in moderation, trans fats, bad. Too much trans fats and saturated fats are going to push your cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, up, and it can lead to issues further down the line. So be careful what fats you're consuming. If you're unsure which ones are which, either ask me or just do a Google search, type in unsaturated versus saturated fats and so on. So hopefully that gave you some clarity on different foods that I eat. If you've got any questions at all about my diet or how I fit my foods in, actually I'll talk about that a little bit now. So I have 5 meals a day. I have my first meal at about 6 in the morning, maybe a little bit earlier. Next meal I'll have 3 hours later. Next meal 3 hours later. Next meal 3 hours later. And final meal 3 hours later, believe it or not. So I have evenly spaced protein servings 3 hours apart, basically. And I have my last meal around 6 to 7 p.m. And that allows me plenty of time to have that food fully digested before I go to bed. I've had it before where you have that final meal and then try to go to bed and the food is still digesting whilst you're trying to sleep. So, you know, your body is internally heating up, and to be able to go to sleep, your body has to cool down to a certain temperature. So it's going to probably disrupt your sleep if you're eating very close to bedtime. So I would say try to leave either 2 or 1.5 hour window from that final meal to bedtime, ideally. So hopefully that helped. Any questions at all, drop them in the comments. If anybody knows a good mic that I can use as opposed to having to clip this on my t-shirt every time, drop them in the comments as well, or DM me on Instagram. Please do all the supportive stuff as well. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you got this far, fair play. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.